Good morning, everybody. Today is house garden day, and I'd rather be doing almost anything else. But obviously, I've been doing everything else because look at it. I wanted to make one special note before I get the time lapse going. This is Carolina wild geranium, and I just looked it up on my phone. It's either called wild geranium or sometimes called Carolina crane's bill geranium, Carolina geranium, several different things like that. It's a wildflower with tall stems covered in spiky, distinctive growths resembling hair, which we're almost at that stage. And it's a white or, pink. Looks like ours is going to be slightly pink. Do we have some over here? Yeah. It's sort of that. Can you see that? One of the most unusual features of the plant is its fruit, which is elongated beak-like shape, leading to a common southern nickname, crane's bill. And I have never let it get this bad in this garden or any garden. And so it's interesting to see the weed that I have in here, and it's not toxic to dogs, but it can get, it can make you a little mildly poisonous, so upset stomach and stuff like that, which Buddy doesn't really bother eating any of this. But this is all right here. This whole corner needs to come out. Everything needs to come out, really. I don't even think I have onions anymore, but that was a disappointment long before the weeds came. So maybe that's why I've been emotionally avoiding this garden. And the birds have picked all my tomatoes out, just about. So let's see what we can salvage in here, and we'll just remove a lot of everything else. Oh, you guys. So I've been going at it about an hour and a half and trying to do everything I can, making tough decisions. I ended up pulling, I don't normally do this, but I pulled all of the Swiss chard out of here because I actually have a beautiful bed of Swiss chard up in North Garden. And North Garden will be plenty enough to get us through. This, I just planted this whole section way too tight last fall, and I don't know what I was thinking. I know better, and some of you probably knew I was making a mistake, but I got overly ambitious on what I was gonna do, And we had cucumbers up front. If you're new to the channel, we had cucumbers in the first panel and tomatoes in the back panel, and that was supposed to be my fall vines. And I didn't want to spend a lot of time doing it. I wanted it close to the house so I could keep a close eye on it, especially the cucumbers. The tomatoes too, except for the tomatoes. I know this now, looking back in hindsight, the last time I had tomatoes overwintered in this garden, we had to net the garden because and I know I had at least one person wasn't really thrilled with me that I used netting because it can entangle birds, but we were losing everything. So this year, even though I thought about it late in the game, I was like, I'm still not gonna net this garden because I don't want to entangle birds, and I love the birds and I feel like I can share with the birds. But apparently they've won. I've had beautiful slicer tomatoes gone, decimated. Caught a cardinal in this morning eating all my cherry tomatoes, you know, and it's day after day after day like that. So essentially what you're seeing right here is just the weeds gone. And I know that seems weird, and this is what left of onions that have been fertilized 4 times with ammonium sulfate. And I think these are the Chianti Reds, maybe, or I don't know. They haven't got a bit of size to them. Here's like a large, now this is probably a Chianti Red. Look, nothing, almost next to nothing on the greenery tops. This is probably my yellow Granix onion. Nothing. I also had Bella Lunas in here. Nothing. I can't even find those. I had shallots back here. Can't find those. They're gone. They're just all gone. You saw me pick. I'll show you in just a minute. But hopefully you saw. My computer was acting a little funny in this stage. So my GoPro was acting funny a little bit in the stage. So I pulled out Hakurei turnips and then French breakfast radishes, and then there was a little bit of Swiss chard, just a couple here and a couple there. Pulled all those out, and I took all the tomatoes off this first cattle panel. And I think what I'm gonna do is make the choice to take this and pull it out to here. That way I can walk between these rows. I want to put some apple melon vine on here. I'll show a picture of what that is. Somebody gave me seed. I have a whole bunch of them. And I think what I'm going to do is I'll just let the tomatoes finish out with, just call that a loss right there. And, hopefully not a full loss. The birds should migrate up north and go. Oh, sorry. Did I scare? Oh, you know what's scaring Buddy? She's here. That makes me, it's not a nice funny joke, but it is kind of funny. Oh, did Mommy's hand hit the scarecrow and she moved? Oh, okay, so my guard dog is working overtime. But anyhow, I think I was saying I'm just going to leave these in here. There should be tall Immokalis on this side for what it's worth. I'll leave the cherries in down here. I'm going to pull this cattle panel over to here and just let this drip line, be empty. Or I could put something short in there like a beets or a carrot, something that's going to take, short time, get up, get out of here. And then by the time the melon creates shade, then this crop will be done. That would be okay. I do believe I'm just going to pull every bit of the onions out, call it a loss. I'm devastated. I really am devastated. I'm not making a joke of that. I'm disappointed. I'm devastated. I'm a bit embarrassed. I did everything that I've always done the past 3 years in other gardens. And for whatever, the soil's great here. Look at this. They're sitting in beautiful amended soil. They got water, they got fertilizer, they've got mostly sun, some shade created by the coop. But I don't understand why I had a complete crop failure in this whole area. I don't get it. I will say, oh, let's not. Okay, the bunching onions are okay. For some of these are over a year old, and then there's some thinner ones like here that are just at 6 months or so for these. I'll probably plant more of those after I clean out the other side of the fence here. The dill has volunteered from maybe a year or 2 years ago, and that was a lovely surprise. I love this. I'm going to pick it because I am still hoping and praying for cucumbers, and we'll probably take some for the dill and take some of the ferns for the dill. We'll leave the rest for the caterpillars and the swallowtails. Now here, I think we're okay. We just, I took away its support, which was just the surrounding weeds was supporting it. So if I put a stake in, this dill will be okay. I believe this is either going to be mammoth dill or bouquet dill. I'm not sure which, you know, because that was years ago when I actually planted the original seed. And we're going to end the video right here. I'm going to go continue when it's not hot. I'm going to go ahead and rake this out. I'm going to pull the onions, bring them in the house, and maybe my son can help me for just a few minutes in moving that cattle panel over. I can do that actually by myself, but it's way easier when he helps me and he balances that cattle panel. It's quite, not so much heavy, but just cumbersome. It's 16 feet in length. I do love these. I have 5 that rotate wherever I need them for the garden, and I have 5 trellises. That was a question from Steph. I have 5 of them in the food forest. We'll do that in a separate video, but just so you know. And then there's some, well, this is just like fencing that I did a circular pattern on, and so the tomatoes grew. This was when the tomatillas were here in the fall, which did fabulous. Oh, one more thing before I let you go. Look at this. Look at this. This is all the turnips, the hakurai, I hope I'm saying that right, turnips, and the French breakfast radishes that went way too long. About 3 weeks ago, I was thinking to myself, oh, I need to tell Jack his radishes are ready. And I forgot, went in the house, I squirreled, and whew, and there you go. Now they're way too big. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Here's a rainbow Swiss chard that I got pulled out. White, hot pink, yellow, another hot pink, sort of a salmon, and that's like a real scarlety looking one right there. I love them all. The colors are all real pretty, but the leaf on the scarlety one has the pink veins. The yellow veins okay too. I think maybe flavor wise the white is my favorite, but maybe you also can't tell if you just mix them all together. There were a few of these are the Narvik carrots I was talking about in that last video, and I really like these Narvik carrots. They don't taper too soon. They grow long before they taper. Does that make sense? Chantenay is usually white at top and tapers really quickly, but this I just like this better. Some probably didn't have very much sunlight over here. And then there were these eggplants. These are Black Beauty eggplants, and these were picked small because I was trying to just get that. I was just trying to get this out of this walkway area, and it is ridiculously overgrown. This plant is going to be coming up on 2 years old. Look at this. We have triplets. I don't know if you've ever seen that before. There are triplet eggplants right here. That should be so cool. We'll have to keep an eye on those in future videos. So be sure to subscribe, like, share, comment, and stay tuned. All right? In a future video, I don't know if it'll be next, but should be soon, we will get the apple melons. The apple melons. I think that's what she called them. That's what the note said. I think it was Kim from Wildberry Homestead. And they say apple melons on them, and they're coming up, putting on their true leaves. I also have watermelons. Those are going to go in South Garden later. But anyhow, isn't that pretty cool? So I think we'll do that, right? that would be really cool. And I was tempted, I have room for some patty pan squash in the front, but I may put some here in house garden. Yeah, okay. That's it, y'all. Take care, God bless, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.